Hello everyone and welcome back to another installment from our webinar series Straight from the Horse's Mouth. The Global Reporting Initiative is a leading framework for sustainability reporting. In this webinar we talked with Zip Water about working together to develop their first sustainability report based on the GRI. Zip Water is a world-leading designer and manufacturer of instant solutions for boiling, chilled and sparkling water. Michael Spiteri, who ran Zip Water's GRI reporting project, joined our Head of Communications, Kate Thompson. Kate explained the value of the GRI reporting and how to keep a potentially huge report relevant, concise and engaging. Michael explained why Zip Water chose the GRI framework, how the company uses and promotes the report, and what the reporting team learned along the way. Here's a sneak preview.
Our report focuses on the ESG topics that matter most to our stakeholders and our business. And this report is a milestone in our sustainability journey, reflecting our commitment to transparency and accountability. Going through the motions of GRI and developing our report, we're able to elevate and create a new purpose, and that is to transform water, to impact lives and protect the planet for all. You should be all about putting that consumer first, that end user, the end audience that reads your report. It's not always a technical expert. It can be people of all different walks of life and all different backgrounds. So we believe GRI provides to that.
Producing a report is not actually about producing a report. It's getting your strategy confirmed, reviewed, down on paper in a format that you can actually use it and take it to the next step. So that's almost like the carrot to, and it looks like just a whole lot of pages of something to keep people focused on the big picture, which I think you would say, Michael, and that was the passion piece about communicating what Zip is doing here.
With that, let's get started.
Thank you very much to everybody who's joined us today. You're here for the GRI Sustainability Report webinar with Zip Water, and Michael Spiteri will be joining me. Now let's get started, and I'm really pleased today to welcome Michael Spiteri, who works for Zip Water. Michael is in the Project Management Office at Zip Water, Australia's leading designers and manufacturers. The advantage of working with Michael, I found out, is he understands project management. And we'll talk shortly through a project that met deadlines. It was a pleasure to work with him. I'm Kate Thompson. I'm Head of Communications at thinkstep-anz, and I worked with Michael on this project. I'm just going to quickly whip through a few points about GRI before I hand over to Michael. Why GRI? Well, there's several frameworks out there. Integrated reporting is another one, or you don't have to use any framework at all. But the advantage of GRI, as we see it, is it is a standard framework, which means you get guidance on what you need to include. It's a common language to communicate impacts, and people like analysts particularly like this because they can compare different companies and understand the reporting. One of the other really important things is that it requires a materiality assessment, and we'll look a bit more at this in a minute. Both integrated reporting and GRI require you to start by working out what your major risks and opportunities are. And looking at the next slide, GRI has some principles. They're what you'd expect from a reporting standard. Balance, obviously. Balance between the environmental, the social and the economic issues. Being able to compare both within your report and across other companies. Obviously accurate, that's all like a good reporting. On time, trustable and clear. And we'll talk shortly about what clarity means to us. Now, GRI has a bit of a reputation for producing doorstops. And what we're going to talk about in this webinar is how not to produce a doorstop. It's a little bit unfair because we've seen some great GRI reports, and we have managed to keep Zip's report to 42 pages. So we're hoping that that's absolutely not a doorstop. The first thing we suggest you do is use that materiality assessment. Look at your risks and opportunities, and that's what you're reporting on. There'll always be other stuff, but if you're using materiality assessment to guide your strategy, that's what you report on. I think strategy is as much about what you don't include as what you do include. We, of course, would recommend using plain English, which is precise, personal, simple English. We advise strong design, and you'll see a few examples of that there. Things like infographics, use of colour, good visuals, and this bottom one here, photos. Because in the end, nothing gets done without pictures. A photo there with a little call-out box and quotes. And you include as much people contact as possible in your report. And then again, they have got a reputation for being big, and I won't pretend they're small, but it is all doable. Helps if you can work with someone like Michael, who has a string of project management qualifications after his name, but I think the process we've used and recommend helps in any case. So get everyone together at the beginning. In the case of Zip Water, that meant obviously Michael as the project manager at Zip's end. We also had marketing and communications heavily involved. We had HR heavily involved, and we had communications for an external agency involved. And that wasn't the actual writing, that was a great job delivering the content. You don't have to do it that way, but you do need someone who's got a real handle on what the content is. Early on, confirm the content plan and keep to it. Confirm the project plan and keep to it. Check in regularly. And we had little short 15-minute, I suppose we call them work in progress meetings once a week. And then the other thing is to just have somebody who really understands the technical side of GRI reporting. In our case, it was our head of disclosures, Martin Fryer. He helped us right at the beginning, make sure we were including all the right things. And then at the end, he did the quick check that GRI requires. There's a little table at the back which explains, of the information you've included, where can people find it so they can quickly go through the report. So those are our tips for producing an engaging report, keeping it sane. Now I'm going to hand over to Michael, who'll talk about it from their point of view. Thank you.
My name is Michael Spiteri. I work for Zip Water. My position at Zip is PMO, and I work in innovation and sustainability. So I lead ESG at Zip. It's been a great journey so far, and there'll be great things coming in the future. I put this together just to give a high-level information about how we developed our ESG strategy, but also how we're advancing it. We are based in Australia, and we manufacture instant boiling, chilled, and sparkling water solutions, and provide this across the globe. So as you can see on the picture there, our reach is very, very large, and we operate within multiple verticals across all different industries. We have been in operation for over 75 years, and we're very proud of the innovations that we release and provide a sustainable impact to our consumers and our customers. We do have all different types of customers, whether it's the end consumer or whether it's in a commercial environment, our customer, and then by virtue the employees that utilize our products. But we offer multiple solutions throughout all different verticals again. So I'll just go into the value of sustainable reporting for us. So our report focuses on the ESG topics that matter most to our stakeholders and our business. And this report is a milestone in our sustainability journey, reflecting our commitment to transparency and accountability. We think that is very important. In everything that we do at Zip, we are very transparent, and we hold ourselves accountable to do what is right, and also highlight where we need to improve so that we focus on that. As I said, the report showcases our journey, our strengths, and areas we can improve. And so far, both our internal stakeholders and our external stakeholders have found great value in reading this. Going through the motions of GRI and developing our report, we're able to elevate and create a new purpose, and that is to transform water, to impact lives, and protect the planet for all. Our sustainability report allows us to share that purpose with everyone. So with everything that we do, we are a purpose-led organisation. So whether it be in innovation or whether it be working with our customers, we always put that purpose first. A lot of people might get confused with writing sustainability reports, and there are numerous frameworks that could be adopted. The one that stood out for us was GRI, and that is mainly because we think GRI, and we know GRI is one of the world's most recognized frameworks. We believe that it is an easy read, and it is an easy process to embed within your organization, just because you should be all about putting that consumer first, that end user, the end audience that reads your report. It's not always a technical expert. It can be people of all different walks of life and all different backgrounds. So we believe GRI provides to that. And I just wanted to share with you all what our materiality assessment was. So we've identified here in the picture what is business critical all the way to what is moderately important, but still all equally important. Just by using this ranking system, we're able to divert more resourcing and focus on the business critical areas. I think it goes without saying environmental and social always come out on top more than governance, although governance is important and intrinsically linked to everything. Environmental is probably one of the biggest areas of focus, and I'm sure for all other organizations it's the same thing. But again, going through that process and understanding where we have to focus and where we have to make improvements and how we can track that reliably is one of the focus areas we have to do. So yeah, that's pretty much why we chose GRI, and it's easily embedded in our business. In doing GRI, we were able to develop our core ESG strategy, and it doesn't get any more simple than this. We were able to identify our 4 key areas, and that's our products, our planet, our people, and our practices. So something that we refer to as our 4 Ps. It is now fully ingrained within our organization, and everything that we do in our organization always ties back to one of our 4 Ps. And then we're able to track them initiatives and report on our progress on a monthly and annual basis. So although you do all the governance pieces, and which is about tracking, collecting data, QAing that data, there's also the social piece within your organization where you get them on board to fulfill something that's bigger than just their normal job. It's actually a part of their job, and we've had zero resistance, which is fantastic. It just highlights that it is an area where people want to be a part of, and it's an area of new that is sort of different if you think about 5-10 years ago. So it is a good change and it is a good shift. So we're really excited and really happy about it. Within our sustainability pillars, we've identified 5 commitments. These commitments will always be a part of our business. We are big on committing to health and wellness through safer, cleaner water. So through our innovation and the products that we have, we provide superior filtration, which we believe provides great health and wellness benefits to our consumers. We do commit to reducing single-use plastics and mitigating climate change through the use of our products as well as our business processes. You'll see in our report and our reports in the years to come what we're doing about reducing our impact in that space. We commit to increasing diversity, equity, inclusion, as well as committing to promoting responsible business conduct. You'll see this through our report as well about the key initiatives that we're doing and how inclusive and transparent we are across the board. With everything you do, it's all about driving awareness, creating that coalition, bringing everyone on that journey, creates empathy, creates an understanding of where you're at and where to go from here. At Zip, we've taken this on board, and we've created a launch sort of pack within our internal areas, but also externally. We think getting the message out there of what we're doing, how we're doing is important, and we've done that through updating our website, as well as our email banners and through our corporate socials. We also send out regular EDMs through our install base, and we also create launch videos that can help communicate our journey, but also communicate where we are and where we're going. So we think it's really important to drive that awareness so that everyone speaks the same language, but also everyone understands what we're doing. We think that's been positively received within our organisation, and we think with everything that we're doing, it's just going to keep getting better and better. So continuous improvement is key. There are a number of key learnings. So can't stress everything that we do, there's always learnings, but fortunately the process of doing our GRI was very positive, and this is why. One of the learnings is it was a very rewarding and challenging journey. If anyone has done a sustainability report, they would know the challenges you face and how cross-functional this type of project would be. It is very rewarding in that when you do get to that end and you finally have your document, it is a very big, tangible piece of work that you can feel proud of and feel great about, that you managed to work with all of these SMEs across your business and bring it all together to tell a story about your organisation. It is a total business strategy and a way of conducting business. It's not just a tick box. Some people might do it for that reason, some people might not. But for us, fortunately, we recognise that it's a total business strategy and a way of conducting business. So it definitely made our journey quite easy to produce the report that we have for you today. Key learning is you need full business commitment to succeed. If any of you have ever tried to push a wheelbarrow uphill, you know how hard that can be. I'm using that same example in this respect, because by having your full business committed, you can succeed, and it's not pushing stuff uphill. So it was really great and really fortunate to have our whole business on board, which helped us produce a great report in the end. Having the right people involved at the beginning for optimal execution. To Kate's point before, she had mentioned marketing and as one key input, but in this project it touched all points. It included sales, product, innovation, operations, procurement, legal, and marketing. So it was everyone across the board, including HR, who do various initiatives for all of our different business units. But again, having the right people involved at the beginning just helped with a very timely execution and a very thorough input at the start. So there wasn't a lot of changes, and we could manage the iteration process very well. One of the key learnings was don't underestimate the work or the project at hand. It is a very large project in terms of content. However, it didn't seem that daunting because I think we prepared for the worst in terms of we understand it's a big piece. It's a big first step in our sustainability journey to launch our first sustainability report externally. For years, we would talk internally about our sustainability position, what we're doing, how we're progressing. But this was the first time we've made that leap to go external and have everything behind us to support everything that we do. So it was really good. But yeah, just a key learning for anyone that is going on that journey. Don't underestimate the work. It can be challenging. And lastly, our final key learning was that we should always put the consumer first and don't get stuck in just the technical details. In the lead up to going through our GRI, one of the big things was we've read so many sustainability reports, and some are very consumer centric and easy to read, and then some are very technical, very scientific. And although some of us will understand that when we go into scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions data and looking at our waste and stuff like that, it's very great data, but sometimes the end audience doesn't understand all that. So one of the key learnings is to always put that consumer first, irrespective of their background, to make a good report that is very readable. So so they're the big learnings for us at Zip. And any questions? We hope you enjoyed what we're sharing.
And in the follow-up to this webinar, we will go out and we'll include a link to the Zip report, because we're quite proud of it too. Michael, you talked about that pride when we basically put a button and it was finished. We felt that too internally, because we felt we knew an awful lot about Zip by the end of it, because the GRI really is so comprehensive. Any questions coming through? There's one just coming through now, Michael. How did you choose your case studies? Because these can be a really important way of presenting technical information quite clearly and actually showing people in the report.
It was actually really hard to choose our case studies. What we did was we looked at our critical GRI areas and tried to identify one for each, so that we can not just talk about it, but bring to life from actual examples within our business. So that's how we approached it. And then we were only going to put so many in there, but then we thought, why not? Because we remembered that everyone that picks up a sustainability report might be picking it up for different things and might not read the whole thing and might only focus on a specific section. So we thought, let's just put one per topic and go from there, sort of thing. So that was the approach that we took.
Nice. And another question, there's a lot of what we call cat herding in this process, which is getting a report through. In our case, we did 3 rounds of, I think, designs on the copy, 3 rounds on the designed report.
Correct.
You're very organised, and I know you'd booked a lot of this in advance. Do you want to talk through that? Because that really is one of the keys to meeting a timeline.
So part of my role at Zip is always to manage expectations. I've been doing it for years, and it's sort of ingrained in my skill set. So I found it quite easy to do, actually, at Zip, but I can see how difficult it can be in a project like this, especially when there are multiple opinions and multiple stakeholders. My only advice is to be very strict with and upfront about communicating the project approach and the journey, and just talk about what is expected of each person and at what point in time. And then your job at bringing that together is to hold that accountability for everyone, irrespective of their position. So don't be scared. But it all worked in the end, and it was really good.
And I think that's a really good point. We often emphasise to our clients that producing a report is not actually about producing a report. It's getting your strategy confirmed, reviewed, down on paper in a format that you can actually use it and take it to the next step. So that's almost like the carrot too. And it looks like just a whole lot of pages of something to keep people focused on the big picture, which I think you would say, Michael, and that was the passion piece about communicating what Zip is doing here. How did you get the project started, Michael? This is coming from Bin Zhang. You mentioned it's a challenging journey. What was the most difficult part?
I actually think the difficult part of this whole project was creating the wireframe of what we're actually going to talk about. Because you can talk about anything, because every organisation is different. So some might be very strong in the emission space because they might work in manufacturing, or they might create tangible products. But then if you're in, say, service industries, your emissions might be higher in the scope 2 area because you're high office operators and not actually producing or manufacturing. So I think for us, the most difficult part of the project was just choosing how to structure the report, because we both operate in office environment and manufacturing. So it was amalgamating the two. In terms of getting the project started, we always knew that we wanted to do a sustainability report. It was just about choosing the right time. So the reason why we thought to choose the right time is because one of our key business strategies was to understand our carbon footprint. And that was pretty much the thing that kick-started it all. Is we want to know our carbon footprint, let's go do it. So we went and did our carbon footprint, and then we said to ourselves we should take this further, because there's no point in doing a carbon footprint if you're not going to do anything with it. So we then went on that journey of starting a materiality assessment. So that's how we started the journey. So it was pretty much, we wanted to know our carbon footprint. We wanted to understand where we're doing good, where we're doing bad, and what we can do about making a positive impact overall. So that's how we started the project.
Thank you. And that's often where we find our clients do start. And I think one of the values of GRI is it makes you go beyond carbon. Carbon's great.
Yeah, that's right.
Things that matter as well. And if we're going to get the right result for everybody and those 17 Sustainable Development Goals, we need to go beyond carbon.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Michael. That's all we've got time for today. Really, really appreciate you coming on, telling us about your report. Thank you very much to everybody who's been part of our webinar series this year and joined this webinar today. This is our last one for the year. We won't be doing them through the rest of December or January, but we will be starting start of February, and we'd love to have your ideas, your feedback, your topics. We can guarantee another interesting webinar program for next year. So thank you very much.
No worries.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.